Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Is This a Ghost? I'm Clayton Smith, and every single week, believe it or not, I tell a real ghost story from real history to my real friend, Patrick Dean, who does not take it real seriously.
Welcome to the loosest pod on the net.
It's going to be a real loose show because one of us has been drinking wine for 3 hours. Any guesses, Patrick, on which one of us that is?
I've been pretty furiously parenting for the last 3 hours, so I don't think it was me.
Well, what I will say is when I first texted you, because now I'm in the Eastern time zone, our timing is all messed up. I'm an hour ahead of you. So this is 9:30 something as we're starting. At my 8:30 time, which is our normal time, I was like, hey, I'm ready. Let me know. I'm in Eastern time zone. And then, of course, because I sent that message, my girls then got out of bed both and were screaming and crying. And then I was parenting after having had some wine for a while. And that was cool and fun. And now here I am.
Maybe you shouldn't text anymore. Maybe that was the problem the whole time. Maybe
I think it might be. It's not. I'll tell you this. It's not the problem. So, oh boy. Do you have any announcements before we get started?
No, very little goes on in my life.
Okay. You don't want to like talk about, I don't know. You want to like,
Yeah, no. I mean,
okay.
it's not a thing.
Okay.
Not a thing.
All right. Yeah.
No,
this is better, right? So what if I could do it from
better.
here?
That's better. Because then you get you get the aura.
Like a halo.
Yeah. You definitely want that.
Halo.
Perfect.
Halo.
And then you can look you can see the door behind you, which is critical.
Oh. Yeah, I fucking locked that because
it's probably like a chair shoved underneath the doorknob or something.
I should. Here's what I didn't tell you about my day today. So what time is it? 9:15 Eastern. I live in that time zone now. So 3 hours ago, I started doing an episode of Codenames.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Are you in the playoffs?
Lost pretty hard.
Oh, no.
But was drinking through all that.
Hey.
And so it's we're still going. And Noah, who I played with, he decided we should be called the Wine Whisperers. So I've been drinking a lot of wine. And I'm going to continue to drink wine now. Anyway, while
that's great news.
Yeah, I thought you would love that. We had some folks, Jen Jones was in Codenames, as she typically is, and said, I can't wait for the episode of iTag that you're going to record after this. And she said, does Patrick know? Is Patrick also keeping tabs and drinking to catch up? And I said, I haven't told him that I'm doing this before immediately. so I'm way ahead.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And the point is during Codenames, the girls came in to the room, both of them, and that was, it was fun and distracting. And I was like, I should lock the door. I locked the door, and then they came back in after the door was locked. And so
they're haunted.
Something is haunted. I don't think it's the house because it's new construction. So I think the girls, they may be ghosts.
That's great. I see you spent most of your move-in time just arranging this room.
Do you like it?
So I like where your priorities are.
It's not for you. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not saying it's for you, but it's not for you. Boy, it's been a week.
It has been a week today. It definitely has.
I can't believe it's only Monday. Jesus Christ. We have moved to Virginia, obviously, as you can see. Great.
And then the whole country just went to shit the moment you left, just so you know.
Oh my God. Can we even talk about that on here? I didn't. So here's my day. I was so busy today. It wasn't until on Codenames, doing the preparing thing, whatever, the preparation.
Yeah.
That someone's like, oh, did you guys see the SCOTUS ruling today? And I was like, fuck, there's another one. And it was, I don't know, arguably one of the worst ones ever. And I didn't have time to process that yet. And here we are. Do you want to say anything about it?
Yeah. All I can say,
could pour more wine,
is that this has been the worst Bobby Bonilla day of my life.
Is this Bobby Bonilla day?
It is. It is Bobby Bonilla day.
I didn't even have
fucking
that.
Ruined, top to bottom.
How many more years of Bobby Bonilla day do we have?
Till 2035. So we've got next year. We'll have to make up for this one because
I didn't even text Dave yet. All right, hold on, let me text Dave real quick. And while I'm doing that, can you? I think we've talked about this in the past on this show, but can you just explain to the newer listener,
sure,
who may not be a baseball fan, what Bobby Bonilla Day is?
So I don't remember what year this was. a while ago, let's say maybe 20 years ago, the New York Mets, to save themselves a couple $1 million, signed a contract with Bobby Bonilla, who was a bit washed up at the time, that if he would stop playing baseball for them, they would pay him $1.2 million every year every year on July 1st from the years 2011 to the year 2035.
What do you think they were thinking when they made that deal?
They were thinking
just loosening that cap, huh?
A totally different owner is going to be on the hook for this. I don't care who pays for this. It won't be me. And sure enough, the owner that signed that deal is not paying for it anymore at all.
Makes a lot of sense. And Bobby Bonilla, not a dumb man.
No,
So I accept.
Do you know what the MLB pension is? It's not that much.
Oh, man.
So yeah,
I guess so. That's the worst part about SCOTUS ruling, that a United States president can do anything they want, legal, illegal, whatever. The worst part of that is I missed Bobby Bonilla Day because of it. So
this is like when Michael Jackson died on my birthday. It's actually very similar. I was so angry about it because I thought up until now I had the perfect birthday. And then the King of Pop decided he wanted to do the big sleep on my big day.
Really, it's kind of an honoraria.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, at least people know what my birthday is now. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I blasted all over our Facebook page. So
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, just so everybody knows, the deal is you can't steal my identity now. You can't, because I know who you are. So
you can. I'll let everyone know the secret. You can. It was in exchange for some pretty good gifts.
This is fair.
Not gifts, but the gifts on the Facebook page are pretty good.
There were some sweet gifts. No gifts, though, unfortunately.
No. Well, we could do a podcast if you want.
I guess.
And actually, it's been a couple weeks since we've done this because I moved to Virginia. And so we took last week off. You were on vacation to an undisclosed location.
Yeah.
I think it turned out to be mostly just St. Louis.
And then I go on vacation next week. So
must be nice.
Indeed.
Must be nice. So what happened is you had your weeks mixed up. Is that right?
Sure. Yeah, of course. Why not?
I love that you tell me all the time you don't have any vacation time. You can't possibly do like ghost related things because you have no vacation time. And
correct.
2 vacations back to back. How interesting. Interesting. Anyway, how have you been? How are you? Feeling
good. Yeah, I think good immediately. Probably not. Okay. Probably not in like a 4-month window. Probably not good. But for now,
July, huh?
Yeah. Now we're good. We're okay for now.
And you didn't watch a debate on Thursday, right? You did not.
I did not, and I still feel this great. Somehow.
It was not better having watched it live. My feelings about the world are that I guess we'll keep doing this podcast for now until whatever.
Was watching the debate live kind of like whenever Joe Namath's knee got blown out on live TV.
You know what?
And they were like, "Ooh, I'm sorry, guys. Anybody that saw that live, I'm very sorry. We won't be showing that again, though."
It was pretty similar, actually. Yeah, because like Joe Namath had one job, which was to throw the ball.
Right.
And that became very difficult when you're like, "Oh, I didn't see this version of not being able to throw a ball coming necessarily." And that
who knew you could injure someone's bottom half bad enough to make the top half not work anymore? Yeah. And then on live TV.
Yeah. So that actually is a very apt comparison. And I you know what? I envy you for not having watched it because, well, it's going to be is I think what I have to say about that. Before we get to the ghost story, which probably will be more fun than this, we should just say that if you're not yet a member of Ghost Plus, I think you're missing some fun stuff. We've done some good ghosties. We got the Headless Cobbler of Smollett Cave. That's fun. The most recent one is Harrison Grancer, Dancing Ghost of Coffee County, Alabama.
Dancing Grancer.
Grancer the Dancer. That's a good one. It's fun. He does dance, and
Mhm.
you're going to want to hear about that. So it's a lot of fun stuff happening there. And Ryan and I have done the Smith Show a couple times. We've got more just wild things, and that's the show where I tell Ryan. Basically, it's it's a similar format, but I tell Ryan a non-ghost story from history, and he reacts, in his own similarly, but in his Ryan way.
Right? Does he poke holes in it?
He likes to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
Yeah. But he's grumpier, I would say.
Really? Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, the gauntlet has been dropped.
No, I'm not saying that you should be grumpier. I'm just saying, it's nice to have differences. You're ketchup and he's barbecue sauce, and we want both of those.
Okay, that's fine.
No, you're the one who was ketchup. You're
digging a hole.
I don't. Oh,
you know what else we do on the Ghost Plus?
What's that?
You know what else we do? We do an intro.
Actually, I don't think that's true. But you're right. Let's see if I had that in my notes. Yep, as usual, I did and didn't read it. Well, do you want to hear a ghost story?
Yeah, love to. I'm here. Oh.
Was it loud enough? Let's try it louder. Ready?
Yeah.
Dong!
Ah!
That's too loud. All right, we're gonna find a level for this. All right, how about this? Ready? Dong!
That's it right there. That's it.
the one.
Yep.
All right. Yep. Well, now that we found that, Loretta Webb was born on April 14th, 1932 in Butcher Hollow, Kentucky.
Ooh.
Named, unfortunately, for a family called Butcher, not because they were butchers.
Well, I'm sure originally they were butchers.
That's probably true.
Nobody pulls that name out of a hat.
You could.
Nobody like does financial planning. And they're like, yeah, but I think when we go to pick, I think we're going to pick Butcher. That seems like a lot tougher name.
What if you want to be left alone?
It's true.
It's a great name to pick if you want to be left alone.
What did you pick? Baker? What about you? Candlestick maker. Oh, that's stupid. What's left? Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, I can do that. Sure.
Okay. Butcher.
Better than the fucking candle guy. Jesus.
So the Butcher Hollow was a coal mining town in Kentucky. So Loretta Webb, she was the oldest daughter of Clara Marie Ramey and Melvin Theodore Webb. Clara and Melvin went by Clary and Ted.
Yeah.
Respectively.
Yeah, that's
I
not
think so.
surprising.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Ted was a coal miner, as was in vogue in the space for the time. And an interesting note, the family claims Cherokee heritage on Clary's side, quote, but have not been officially recognized by that tribe. So that feels tough. The Elizabeth Warren of...
Yeah. Someone was saying about some extra scholarships, get a few extra bucks.
Gotta try. You gotta try.
All they can say is no.
Yeah. Loretta was named after the film star Loretta Young. I will give you $1 million if you can name one movie that Loretta Young was in.
Ooh, she was in Gone with the Wind. Definitely.
Now, I will have to IMDb it because I have no idea. Let's see. If she was in Gone with the Wind,
please be Gone with the Wind.
I am going to turn this podcast off and never return. Loretta Young was in... Yep, there you are. You were in The Stranger. The Farmer's Daughter.
Oh, I've seen that one.
Okay. It's different. That was the Pornhub version. It's different.
Oh.
The Doctor Takes a Wife. Also the Pornhub version. And Midnight Mary, also the porn. Oh, wow. These are
all in black and white, right?
Mostly white.
Sorry. Anyway, I haven't seen any of these movies. I saw Gone with the Wind, but she wasn't in it, I guess.
I guess I can control find. I think it would show up. No. Okay, so I get to keep my millions. And where are we? So Loretta had 7 siblings, and she was the oldest girl. When she was 15, Loretta Webb married a 21-year-old man named Doolittle Lynn, and she took his name and she became Loretta Lynn.
Oh, you're talking about
Now,
Loretta Lynn? Like,
yes,
like Loretta Lynn?
One. That's
All
the
right.
one. That's the one. I'm going to answer, Patrick, preemptively, 2 questions I'm sure you either have or you will have soon if you haven't thought about them yet. Number 1, Doolittle's name was Oliver, but he got the nickname Doolittle because he was lazy as shit and did, in fact, very little.
I was going to ask if Doolittle was a God-given name because it's a real mean God-given name.
It is. It is.
But
no,
also,
it's just a mean human-given name.
Yeah, similar situation, sure.
The second answer to a question that you have not asked yet, but I'm thinking you probably are going to have. You may be thinking 15 is very young to get married to a 21-year-old. Now, what I'll tell you is, until the 2000s, it was believed that Loretta got married at 13 years old.
Oh.
Because that's what happened. And so you obviously have heard of Loretta Lynn. You may or may not know that she had a biography, the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, starring Sissy Spacek. In that movie, they did say that she was 13 when she got married, because that's what Loretta told everyone. Now, it turns out she had lied about her age from a very young age in order to get on the stage. So she was not 13 when she got married. She was 15. So you can just relax. She was a normal 15 years old. Also, Coal Miner's Daughter is a very celebrated movie, and it is... I've never heard anyone flag the fact that they're like, wait a minute. This
math does not work out at all.
Married at 13, is that okay? We're all good with that? But here we are.
More like the coal miner's minor. Sorry.
Oh, boy. So Loretta's dad... Wait, hold on. I do have something for that. Let's see.
You have something for that?
I'm a little late. I mean, in the moment, it would have been great. Let's see. So Loretta's dad, Ted, he developed, the old black lung.
Oh.
From being a miner, which is, what you do. And he and Clary, Loretta's mom, they eventually moved to Wabash, Indiana, thinking this will be better.
That's what everybody moving to Indiana thinks. They're like, oh man, finally, the promised land. And then
it's not better. And as Ted can attest, because his health got worse.
Here, Indiana coal mines is a lot cleaner. Clean coal.
Clean coal mines. Those Mike Pence coal mines. They're clean like Mike Pence, clean like his soul. As clean as the film strip for Mulan when Mike Pence gets done with it. Wipes all those Asians off of there. And so let's see. 4 years later, at the age of 52, he dies from a stroke, actually. Anyway, back to Loretta. So she loved to sing, of course. And right around this time, she formed her own band called the Trailblazers. And you'll probably be not surprised to learn she was pretty good. She, won a televised talent contest in Tacoma, Washington, hosted by Buck Owens.
Hey, big time.
He's no slouch. He's no slouch. Yeah. So that was pretty good. And her prize for winning that was a wristwatch.
And a date with Buck Owens.
I'm
74 years or senior.
Now, Loretta's performance on that talent show was seen by a ton of people, including a Canadian man named Norm Burly. You ever heard of Norm Burly before?
New to me. Nope. I've heard of men named Burly and men named Norm. But not Norm Burly.
Burly men named Norm.
Yeah.
And normal men named Burly. Well, after hearing Loretta sing in that show, Norm and his colleague Don Grashy, which I guess is the name, they formed a record company called Zero Records.
Oh, well.
And
I mean, there are other names you can choose. You don't have to just start with the worst one you can imagine.
But here, think about this. Okay, counterpoint. That's true. However, if you go with the worst one ever, done.
Yeah.
You don't have to keep thinking.
Good point.
So Zero Records and I think they formed this specifically to sign Loretta to a contract.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And this was her first contract.
Yeah. And their first contract.
Yeah. So this is almost as good as a wristwatch, I guess. Yeah. Maybe not quite.
How would you like a Mickey Mouse wristwatch and a Mickey Mouse record contract? Oh,
the fuck is
I like
Mickey
these.
Mouse? Oh boy. But Loretta is a hit, of course. Do you want to interject here with what do you know about Loretta Lynn? You're not a country music fan.
Oh man, she was in a movie called The Coal Miner's Daughter.
I don't think she was not in it. That was you're thinking of Sissy Spacek.
I am thinking Sissy Spacek. Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do not know any Loretta Lynn songs off the top of my head. No.
No, but you know that she is a famous musician.
Very famous. Yes.
So famous.
Super famous. I know her name,
famous, right?
and I don't know anybody about anything.
And she had that blood poured on her head during the prom, right? Is that
right?
Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah.
That's what I
No,
know about
still
Loretta Lynn.
SpaceX on that one. Oh, interesting.
Huh.
Wow. Okay.
Anyway, so it will not surprise you and probably a lot of our listeners that she's a hit right from the jump. She's a hit. One song on that very first album goes immediately to number 14 on the charts. It's pretty good for a debut album.
Mm-hmm.
And in 1960, at the age of 28, Loretta Lynn makes her first appearance at the Grand Ole Opry.
Ah, these are the big stages.
That's a big time. That is on my bucket list for sure. I really want to go. Ryman Auditorium. Yes, absolutely.
Go play at the Grand Ole Opry. I mean, a lot of people would love to do that.
I'm going to have to learn an instrument. It's going to be a lot easier if I just go watch a show, but I'm a completionist and I really want to get on that stage.
Mm-hmm. I'm also going to tell everybody I'm 13 years old. And maybe they'll just be like, you know what? By God, I don't know what kind of illness you have, but you can go up on that stage, little boy.
Well, if I shave my beard, I think I can get away with it. I look very young without my beard.
I have that freak growing disease. I'm very young, but definitely dying.
Have you been to the Ripley's Believe It or Not in Branson? You know that guy who was really tall? That's me.
I ate him, and that is me now.
But I'll get there, but I'm not. I'm a wee lad.
Put me on the stage. I have my triangle.
That's probably what I would play. I don't know. I don't know. I think I would be off rhythm. What's the thing that people can play if they don't know what music is or how to do it?
Ooh, tamborine's pretty good.
That's good.
Tamborine's pretty good.
Yeah, you can just shake it the whole time.
Yeah,
And people are like, that's part of it. That's
background.
The whole deal. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Man, it's like the bass for people who don't know what bass is. To the background and just makes or breaks it. Okay, so where are we? So she's at the Grand Ole Opry, which is great. So this only further cements her popularity, and Loretta Lynn becomes the #1 female recording artist in country music.
Whew.
So very quickly, she's really, really blowing up. She quickly befriends a little lady named Patsy Cline,
whom
she credits as her mentor and best friend for a while. And so your toilet's running. Here's what I'll say. I think Jeremy is still here to edit this one, but there's a couple weeks in July he's going to be out, and I don't know how to take the toilet out.
So here's the fun thing. This is not the toilet running. This is the my children in the backyard. They have turned on the hose.
It is almost 9 o'clock.
Almost 9 o'clock at night. They've turned on the hose and they are spraying the window directly above me while cackling.
Oh, so they're trolling you.
Looking right down in the window. I'm looking at all of them right now.
They think it's very funny.
They are going
they're not wrong.
Beaten mercilessly in a few minutes. I promise you.
Now I got to clean my keyboard because I just got wine all over it. Any Kleenex in here? Damn it.
Yeah, it's in the drawer.
I'll use this piece of paper, I guess.
Are you? Oh my God. Take that.
There's wine all over my keyboard. Take that, analog media.
Oh, I don't need this page from Numbers. I don't need this page from Numbers.
Oh boy. Okay. So, boy, I have totally lost our place here.
Patsy Cline.
Big deal. Yeah, Patsy Cline. So Loretta is very quickly becoming one of the biggest stars in the history of country music. She starts singing with Conway Twitty.
Woo.
she releases an incredibly popular biographical song called Coal Miner's Daughter, in which she lies about being 13, I guess. And then, of course, the movie's made. She also releases a song called The Pill, which was one of the first songs in history to discuss birth control.
Really?
Which I had no knowledge of before this.
Huh. It's a little thing that women take every month.
Sorry, I should have been more clear. You're right. I didn't know that she had created.
I mean, you have a lot of
The
kids.
Pill.
You have a lot of kids. I didn't know.
I mean, obviously, that's not a thing in our house.
Right.
Oh boy. So you and I, Pat, we're not going to get deep into her career because this is a ghost podcast. I want to get us on track here, but rest assured, she was doing very well. I don't know if she's like big in the UK, so I want to be very clear for our UK listeners. Yeah. Loretta Lynn is a really big deal in country music. So she's got fame, she's got money, and eventually Loretta decides she's tired of that big city Nashville life. You know what Nashville's like. All that hot chicken.
City of Lights.
So
and chicken.
Yep. That's what they call it. It's on the flag. City of Lights and chicken. Have you been to Nashville?
I have, and I've had a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. They're so hot that I very nearly threw up at the table. It was
I've done that in Chicago with a Nashville hot chicken sandwich. That's not a big deal. I want to go. I wonder how close I am to Nashville now.
You're probably really close,
right?
Do you know where you don't know where you live right now? That's what
I have no idea. Like. People keep telling me like, oh, I live in like this town and this town, and I'm like, I don't know. Are you in my town? No.
What metropolitan areas are near my new metropolitan area? I do wonder.
You have to go real far. So we live in the town we live in is called Fishersville, and it's a very small. It's like a very rural, and it's very cute and wonderful. But I told someone the other day, I was like, we just moved into Fishersville, and they said, oh, what part of Fishersville? And I said,
I don't know. I stretch this arm out. I touch one side. I stretch this arm out.
Well, and I looked at the map to try to answer that question because I was like, I don't know. Let me look. And it's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Fishersville. Like, I don't even know how to answer that question. It's so
Upper
small.
Fishersville. Always. Upper Fishersville. Not Lower Fishersville.
No.
Down by the river.
High side of the railroad tracks. Yeah. For sure. Sure. Let's see. Nashville, Tennessee. Where are you from me? I don't want to brag, by the way. I have a second monitor now.
Oh, really? That's wild.
Because Erin got a new one and I got her old one. Like a man does. This is it's still an 8-hour drive. That's too far.
How do you move that far away from Nashville?
I'm close to nowhere. I think 2 hours away is DC, but that's about it. And one state over is the ocean, as we may or may not have recorded in an earlier discussion tonight. Can't be sure until we hear the Jeremy cut. Anyway, so Nashville. She was like, no more Nashville. Cities, gross. So she and Dew jump in a car. Oh, he went by Dew.
Well, yeah. I mean, if someone's gonna say, "Oh, your name's Doolittle" because you're so fucking lazy, like, no, my name
Poop.
Look, all this stuff I do every day. In fact, I'm gonna call myself Dew from now on, not Doolittle.
I do so many things. I will call myself Dew. I do so much. I do twice as much as everyone else. Do. So she and Dew jump in the car and drive out to the country, and they're looking for a new place to live. They were on their way to see a certain property, but they got lost. Google Maps, not very good. Rural Tennessee in 1964. So they get lost down these country roads, and they're just driving, and eventually they stumble across a beautiful white house in the middle of fucking nowhere. And this house sits above a waterfall and an old grist mill. Now, Loretta and Dew are confused.
Hang on, real quick. Go
ahead, yeah.
I want you to let me know, as specifically as possible, what the fuck a grist mill is. I would like to know. I'm curious.
Now, I will answer your question. I want to ask you a question. Do you know what a grist mill is?
I do know what a grist mill is. Okay. Absolutely, yeah.
If I had to guess,
Mhm.
well, I know what a mill does, right? You
Right.
spin it around and it mashes stuff up.
Correct. Absolutely.
Now, a corn mill would be one that mashes up corn.
Correct. Yes. That's the word
a
they
wheat
use.
mill or a barley mill would be one for that. Now, a grist mill, that sounds to me like gristle.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So were I to guess, I would guess they smash up animals.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or at least the unused parts of them.
Yeah. And make them into, I would say, tallow, perhaps.
Ooh,
Or,
very nice. Like candles. I
yes,
like this.
like candles.
And soap.
Yeah, or if you are Percy and you work in a fancy New York restaurant,
Right.
The lard that comes with food that you're expected to eat. So gross. You ever had solid lard
and
on
a shot
plate?
glass full of fat
Paid
back?
for it?
If you
So gross.
don't.
Is that right? How
I have
close
no
am
idea. I have no idea. I have no idea what grist mill is.
Well,
You're probably really close. I mean, you did the whole like Latin breakdown. I was very impressed.
yeah, I think Latin for bones is grist. Let's ask ChatGPT what they think. What is a grist mill? Facility. Oh no, not shoot. A facility where grains, such as wheat, corn, or rye, are ground into flour or meal. Now that's a missed opportunity.
It's a shame.
Should have called it a wheat mill.
Mm-hmm.
And grist is for gristle.
Exactly.
So
I'm very curious what they call the grist mill. where they grind the gristle. I really
maybe
am.
it's called an abattoir. Yeah. Not a 0% chance.
It's called a smushery. It's where we just kind of do a lot of smushing. Oh, you don't work down at the smushery. You want to get some perfume on your upper lip? You work down at the smushery. It's
gross,
horrible. You'll be nostalgic for the grist mill.
Okay, so so they find this house, and it's beautiful, and it's overlooking and stuff. Now the house is abandoned, and this is confusing.
Even better.
Is that true?
If you want a house and you walk up to said house and there is nobody in said house,
I guess you could just go in and it's your house now. Is that how house works?
I've done stranger things.
I would like to hear one.
Or maybe not a whole house. Sure. Okay.
I'll show you a picture of the house later. You'll see it's a pretty big house. So yeah,
but empty.
What?
Empty. Totally empty.
Yes, totally. It's totally abandoned. Totally empty.
No one's cutting the grass.
There's ghosts inside.
Oh, well.
What?
Spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah.
Are we going to go to intermission now? Is that what's going to happen? In Act 2, you'll find out.
Sure. So the house is abandoned, and Loretta and Dew are confused because it's a beautiful home, beautiful spot. They just don't know what's going on. We need some TLC.
Sure.
But Loretta is famous. She knows Chip and Joanna Gaines, I would assume.
Yeah. Scrub some of the bloody handprints off the wall.
No. You want to keep that. It's ambiance.
Maybe take a pressure washer down to the grist mill, wash out the big parts.
The smush mill.
Yeah, down to the smushery. You don't want to.
So why do I see a vision of a smushery t-shirt coming through?
Loretta Lynn's world famous smushery.
The new grossest thing we've ever created for the store.
18 plus, please.
Now, by the time they get to the house, it's getting dark out. So obviously they're lost, and they decide they should not try to drive back. It's
it'd be foolish.
Yeah. Now, of course, the house is abandoned, so they decide to sleep on the porch.
That's okay. That's respectful, right?
Yes.
Not my house. This is not a felony. I'm on the porch.
Smells better out here than in there. I don't know how many people died in there, but it's pretty clear. They wake up the next morning, and Loretta says, "I want to buy this house."
Okay.
And Doolittle says, "Yeah, sure. All right." I assume Doolittle he's just happy to be along for the ride. Loretta is blowing up. I'm sure he's. I did look into some of his history. I would like to actually look at more. It seems like he was kind of one of those guys who's a real dick about like managing her career and stuff. And that's all I have to say about that.
Okay. Well, big broad generalizations like this.
Yeah. Do you like it?
I do.
Let me show you the house if I can get screen share to work. I haven't tested this out yet. let's find out. Here is the house. Can you see that?
Oh, I do. I'm not sure. Oh, and then the little like Dutch boy, Dutch girl
Yeah,
statues.
I don't know if that's original.
Yeah, I mean, maybe.
It seems like they've been sitting there for a while.
Just a gorgeous house, unbelievably gorgeous. The Doric columns, the 6 Doric columns holding up the roof.
Yeah, we get it. We get it. You know the name of a column.
I have no idea whether that's Doric columns or not. They might be Ionic. The gorgeous second floor balcony. I see 2 chimneys. Actually, I'm sorry, 3 chimneys. There's one hiding around the back side there. Yeah, this house looks
in the other corner.
Absolutely could be. Just a stunning home. Absolutely stunning.
So you get it. If you're Loretta Lynn, you see this. I mean, I'm sure it didn't look quite this good.
The landscaping probably suffered a little bit,
a little overgrown, but it's a great house.
Assuming the ghosts are non-violent, I am enduring a lot to own this home.
Also, like how smushy is the smush room? Yeah. That's going to be important. We're gonna need some deets on the smush room. So Loretta wants the house. So they track down the owner, and the owner is happy to sell the house. But
you have to spend one night in the house.
Well, yeah, we want of films was created.
We want to spend all our nights in the house. Oh, even better. But still,
if you can spend 70 nights in the house, I guess.
I don't know. The curse was pretty. I mean, the deed was pretty specific about how many nights you have to spend in the house.
So there is a catch, but it's a pretty big one. They can buy the house, but in order to do so, they actually have to buy the entire town.
Oh, this sounds fine, I guess.
And so Loretta says, I want the house. And so she buys the entire town,
including like the little rundown motel with the very sassy clerk and the
wearing the wig. Yeah. Now I feel very strongly. Someone definitely was like, this is Loretta Lynn. She wants to buy her house. What should we just like try to sell the whole town?
She seems really desperate, and her husband seems like kind of a do-nothing. Oh, that's an interesting name. Okay, yeah, I wouldn't have thought of that. Okay.
So Loretta and Doolittle become the proud owners of Hurricane Mills, Tennessee.
Hurricane Mills?
It's a weird name, isn't it?
I mean,
it's like
kind of Sammy Hagar ass name is this? This is.
It's a weird. I don't know.
Come visit the Red Rocker down at Hurricane Mills. August 14th. 18 plus, please.
I will take out my penis.
In case it wasn't clear enough. Hurricane Mills, only for adults.
So I don't know what must have happened here to name it Hurricane Mills, but that feels like a red flag. The town they bought includes the mill, the Hurricane Creek Dam.
They have their own dam? This is a town that can be purchased, and it has a dam to maintain. Okay.
Now, well, if you remember from the episode that came out last week, the Hales Bar Dam, I would also be looking to unload a dam.
Yeah, I don't. That's a lot of. So that's a lot of headache right there.
Could be a bad dam. The Hurricane Mills Bridge.
Okay. There's infrastructure, like a surprising amount of infrastructure.
This is like a real town almost.
Like, clearly a senator was born in this town. He's like, oh, I think we need a dam there too. The creek is getting unruly. We need to definitely spend some money.
Christopher Walken has become a senator from Hurricane Mills.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
What if we put a bridge over there? And the Hillman Anderson house is, I think, probably her house, the Hillman Anderson house, which is built in 1876.
The house, the dam, the bridge.
There's also a general store.
Okay.
And a post office.
Okay.
It's a real town.
Sure.
A big town, but it's a real town.
No people, but you got the store.
Yeah. And Loretta Lynn buys it all.
Is it like one of these stores at a children's museum where you're the only person in there and you just like kind of pretend to scan things through?
Mannequins are just standing behind the register.
Oh, honey, can you go run down to the store and buy 12 boxes of noodle? Yeah,
What
absolutely.
are you talking about? There's nothing there. Please stop sending
This
me.
isn't butter. These are painted wooden blocks, Loretta. Have you gone insane?
So they move into the house, and it's not long before they start to realize why the house was abandoned. One day, not long after they moved in, Loretta had been on tour, and when she came home, she was pulling into the driveway on the tour bus, and through the windows, she sees a woman in white standing on the balcony.
Oh, caught. Do little became do something, and now he's
in deep doo-doo.
He's in deep doo-doo now. Yeah.
There we go. Tied it all together. All right. The woman in white was crying, and so Loretta, she goes inside. Now she had kids at this point, and therefore she had a live-in nanny.
Oh.
Because she's on the road a lot.
Well, yeah,
she's
of course, yeah.
Music star, yeah.
And like her husband is famously lazy, so
famously useless,
obviously,
so cool guy to have around. So she goes into the house and she asks the nanny who the woman is up on the balcony. Now the nanny has no idea what she's talking about because
like
no
panicking.
one else is in the house.
Yeah, nanny's probably like, "There's a woman on the balcony." Okay, this seems like something I probably am going to get in trouble for.
Sweat starts to pour down the head. Oh no.
I don't know. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Your husband's been away at the dam all week. I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be doing here.
Oh boy. So Loretta continues to see this woman from time to time, and usually on the balcony, sometimes though out in the graveyard. Oh, because the town also has a graveyard.
Which she bought as well.
Yeah. She didn't have a choice. So she buys a graveyard. So it's her graveyard, and she likes to walk through it. And sometimes she's this woman in white crying there. Any questions?
No, none.
Great.
Excited.
Now, at this point, Loretta, or I should say eventually, I guess, Loretta and Doolittle have 6 kids. One day, 2 of the daughters come running up to Loretta in a total panic. And they said there were strange men in the house.
Ooh, not good.
So Loretta does not like this, obviously. She runs inside. She searches the house, but the house is empty. And not long after this, Loretta herself sees the same men her children described wandering around the house, but they're dressed in Civil War uniforms. And when she shouts at them, they turn and they look at her and they see her and they disappear.
Oh.
Which is easy. Easy solve. Yeah. Great. No problem.
They're basically raccoons. It isn't that bad. You yell at them
raccoons are way meaner than that. No. Stop eating our trash, soldiers.
So you would prefer to have 2 Civil War ghosts than 2 raccoons?
Without question.
You can't keep out of the house.
Absolutely. Without question. 100%. 1000%.
I guess the rabies thing is less of an issue with the ghosts.
As far as I know.
Probably. Right.
We haven't read one of those stories yet. We're pretty deep into this thing. So Loretta's oldest son, Jack, he was in the brown room one day.
I mean, you don't have to come up with these like little colloquial names for it. I know what it is. I know you have kids and you have to try and be nice and whatever, but you know.
This one is the brown
fine.
room. That one across the hall is the yellow room. You know what to do.
Do not mix the 2. The plumbing is very restrictive.
So he's in the brown room one day when a soldier walks in.
Oh, no.
This is all very different when it's the bathroom.
He is going to be constipated for a year.
Yeah.
No way this kid shits in the next year.
Soldier walks in and tries to take off Jack's boots.
Oh, that's 10 times weirder.
Didn't see that coming,
no,
did
Mr.
ya?
Soldier, I'm finally getting it. Oh, damn it.
I need the heels of these things to boost me up. Just like this. Haven't you seen a squatty potty? I need this.
He's got these Farquad boots on to help with the motion, and this soldier's like, no, we didn't have these. No, sir. Not these cursed things.
Speaking of Jack, by the way, sometimes we have fun facts. As you know, I have a new thing. This is a dismal fact. Jack died in 1984 by trying to ride a horse across a river on the property, and he fell off the horse and drowned.
Oh, I mean, if you're gonna go, you better
fall into a river.
Go by drowning.
Okay. Anyway, the Confederate soldier, who tried to take Jack's boots off, is still seen in the Brown Room today. And staff sometimes also hear knocking coming from the inside of the closet in that room. Which is, I think it might be the worst place to hear knocking coming from. Inside of the closet door.
Inside the linen closet. I mean, you're sitting there, you're like finally relaxed.
I mean, you know, just say nothing of the timing. Absolutely. Like that's not where you want to be harassed.
You have about 4 cups of coffee in your belly. You sit down for a moment. You start to get relaxed. You hear like a light tippy 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 tap on the linen closet door, and you think, I'm gonna have to go to the yellow room. I know I shouldn't have to, but I have to go to the yellow room now.
I'm gonna need the I don't know, what's the yellowish brown room? Yeah. What's the go to the liquid room. I mean, name one worst place to be haunted.
None. Absolutely none.
Absolutely. This is the worst.
I would rather be in a pit in the basement. Being terrified than be in the brown room and have something surprise me like this.
From inside, also the brown room. No way. So that's going on, and with all this, with all the sightings that are happening, so Loretta decides to actually learn about the property that she had bought. Which seems like something that's worth doing.
Maybe a little after the fact. Sure.
I mean, better late than never. A little digging reveals there was actually a Civil War battle on the grounds. And she learns that as many as 19 dead soldiers are buried somewhere on the property, not in the cemetery.
Okay.
Yeah. There are people certainly buried in the cemetery. There are at least up to 19 soldiers buried outside of the cemetery, just like around.
Yeah, just scattered about.
Yeah. She also learns that the crying woman is almost certainly the ghost of a woman named Beulah Anderson, who died around the turn of the century from the grief of losing her baby.
Oh, okay. Not great.
I was thinking about that must be a euphemism.
It is. Right? Yeah, it's got to be.
So would you like to talk about what you think that might
be? I have no interest. Less than zero.
Okay. You want to talk more about the brown room instead?
Yeah. Let's get back on that horse for a little while. Ride that one right into the river.
Oh boy. Okay, so that's Beulah. So they give that ghost some
space.
Leeway. Yeah. There are other sightings too. Now, I'm going to read something verbatim that I guess I'll warn you in advance. I received no additional context, and neither will you. What you are about to hear is what I read with no other information. Okay?
Ready.
Loretta also recalls sitting at home with a close friend when they heard the sound of rattling chains coming from an area of the house known as the slave pit.
Oh my God. It's your house. You can change the names.
You cannot. I mean, there's so much to unpack there. And I found nothing. I found nothing.
Oh, Loretta. That one you can change. That one.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have people over and be like, this chain, that must be the slave pit. You just.
Can we went to the bottle of wine? Let me run down to the wine cellar. That's what it's always been called.
That would be great. I would accept that completely. What I think is, if you're a journalist or historian and you're writing about this decades later, I mean, I don't remember which sources came from, but it'll be listed in the show notes as usual, so you can go and scroll through and see for yourself. But it's got to be at least around the turn of the 21st century. I think you could just not use that term. Also,
seems like that's an easy one.
You just say it comes from the hole in the ground.
Yep,
it's fine. Now, Patrick, having said that, what do you think happened in the slave pit?
boy, everyone got along, I would imagine.
Do you want to go back to talking about Beulah and dying from grief?
Actually, can we take 2 steps back to the brown room? Actually, I was very comfortable.
Man. So no further notes about that, but sound of rattling chains is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
Once it became obvious that there were ghosts on the property, Loretta decided to hold a seance.
Oh,
See
okay.
what's really what.
Yeah,
which I like. She had some friends over, and they sat down. They did their thing, and they actually managed to connect with a spirit who called himself Anderson.
You
may recall Beulah Anderson was the
course.
The woman. Now, Anderson was not too thrilled about being called up. He started shaking the table, and he was doing it so hard that it broke.
Oh, well, kind of serves you right.
Oh, yeah, I think so. And then he left, and Laura was like, wow, well, that seems like we hit on something here. So they do some more digging. It turns out this is the original owner of the house. His name was James Anderson, and that's Beulah's husband. Anderson has also been seen by staff and by visitors up until present day. And turns out he's actually buried on the property.
Oh, okay.
So, if you move his bones, does his ghost go or no?
Oh, no, I think the spirit gets tied. If it was like a house that you built, like you're the first person ever to live in it, I think your spirit gets tied to it.
Yeah.
Bones or no. Yeah.
Now,
I don't really like the idea of getting buried in your own backyard like a gerbil. I don't like that.
No, that's really for cats only.
Yeah, this is cats and Elvis. That's it. That's the whole list right there.
Can you remind me? I know we've talked this before. What do you want me to do with you? I forgot. I need to write this down. What do you want me to do?
Oh, God. I'll have to go back and check the wiki. I don't remember.
Road trippy, I think. There was some road trip.
No, actually, I wanted you to...
no, wait. There's a restaurant. Steak and Shake? No.
Denny's. I wanted you to slowly flush every piece of me down the toilet into Denny's while you try and explain away why you're in there.
I hate to say this. I hope Amy goes first because otherwise that's going to be a tough battle for me.
Amy's going to be like, I want an open casket, very tasteful. And you're going to be like, yeah, I got the electric knife right here though. And
I got the Sawzall.
He was real specific. You can go back and listen to episodes.
We got the episodes. Yep.
Something.
Now it's in at least 2. So Jen, I'm sure Jen knows which ones. Jen, can you notate those for us, please, just for future reference? Because Amy's going to want to know. So he's been anyway. So even Loretta's grandchildren have had encounters with ghosts on this property. And this is a quote from one of her grandsons. The power happened to go out one night, and as I was rounding the corner to get back into my room, the chandelier was the only light that was on in the house. What's so strange about this is that the entire house is on the same electric breaker. There's no possible way the chandelier could have been on while all the other lights were off.
Ooh.
Now, you're a big nerd, so I thought that would get you. Thought you'd like that.
Big nerd.
Big nerd.
Little trouble that they're using the circuit breaker to turn the lights on and off in the house. That's not kosher. That's not how you do that. This is not cool. We have light switches in our house. Some houses have them.
You talking about the ghost here or the people? Because
I'm talking about the people. You don't use circuit breakers to turn the lights on and off.
I don't think they use them for that. Did I read this wrong? I don't think they.
Maybe.
They're on the same breaker.
Right.
So if the breaker was off, everything should be off. But
the breaker is off. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you nerd. Scared?
I'm not listening real close. I'll be honest.
Yes, that's been pretty clear for about 50 minutes or so.
Anyway, so this kid's sitting in the brown room, right?
So despite the haunting, Loretta Lynn, who I don't think was very bothered by any of this, she lived in that house for a very long time.
Did she ever write any songs about it?
Yeah.
I mean, just honestly, you would think it'd be...
Actually, as a matter of fact, she did. I didn't write this down, but I'm so glad you said this. She wrote a song called, I think it's called The Haunted House, actually. I'm not joking.
Some songwriter.
I know this sounds like I'm just making it.
And what are you going to call this magnum opus about the haunting of your family estate? I'm going to call it The Haunted House. Oh, yeah, that's a good name. Sure.
I'm pretty sure. I got to find this. Let's see. I mean, the song is, This Haunted House.
And the song starts out like this. They're creepy and they're spook. No. That one.
That one's taken.
If-
I mean,
if
I
the-
love it, but it's
Uh-huh.
taken. This haunted house and the song. Let's see. I mean, it's about a love gone wrong, but it's about a haunted house. It's a
Right,
haunted
but she
house, I
talks
live
about
in, it's
skeletons
killing
and
me, the
pumpkins and
ghosts
stuff,
of
right?
your loved one set me free. Each one finds me crying alone. It's haunted house we used to call our home. Blah blah blah. So it's, but yeah, there was someone who was like, it was the
Mhm.
inspiration for this song. So yes, thank you
Sure.
Tanya, for asking.
I don't know.
She did write a song about that. And for some reason, she was 13 years old in this song. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. I've got 6 kids, but I'm 13 years old. Let's see. Where are we?
I have no idea where you are.
Oh, so eventually, so she lived in the house for a really long time. In the 2000s or maybe the 2010s, she actually moved into a new house she built in the town still. So she always owned the town. Her family still owns the town of Hurricane Mills. She built a new house near the original. I mean, quite recently. That's a long time in a house with ghosts.
Yeah.
She's cool with that, or was. She died really recently. She died in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
No word yet on any hauntings from Loretta herself, but
Oh.
she's still a baby ghost. So we keep this going long enough.
Not much power.
Not much
She'll
power.
get there.
We're gonna give her about 50 years. If we're still doing this podcast in 50 years, I bet we'll have a Loretta Lynn ghost.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to go tour the Loretta Lynn house, you can. They will not let you go to the top floor. That's where the brown room is. Is they they don't say it's because they don't want to clean it, but it could be that.
Yeah.
The official reason is the docents who run the place are too scared to go in.
Oh wow. Oof.
And that is the story of the haunted house of Loretta Lynn, very famous American country music star. What do you think?
Very exciting. Very, very exciting.
Excited. That's good.
I really appreciate that she never gave up on the terrible town name of Hurricane Mills. That's
You
like,
could. It's like you could just. It's so easy to change it. It's so easy.
it sounds like an outlet mall in Florida or something like that. She's like, you know what? It's perfect. Why change it? All the signs got printed already. Let's just do it.
It's a surprising choice.
Mhm.
It is. It really is. But hey,
Good for
she's
her.
happy there, and the ghost's angry,
Mhm.
and that's fine. Well, I guess that's it for this episode of Is This a Ghost? Our glorious return that was not broken at all for listeners, but for us, it's been a couple weeks. Nice to be back. This went flawlessly, super smooth.
No notes.
Is This a Ghost is a production of Smith Show Media. All the notes this week were in fact taken by me, Clayton Smith. All the funny jokes were from Patrick Dean. Our audio editor is Jeremy Montoya. Our video editor is Jen Swanson. Our social media manager is Kai Valonis. And I don't know. Listen, I'll tell you, everyone's like, I should just get rich and be a music star and buy cool houses. And I'm saying, I don't think you should, because if you do that, you might end up on next week's episode of Is This a Ghost?